Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for overcoming your hangovers. We appreciate it. Um, all right, quick announcement. After this session, you may have seen it on the itinerary, but we'll be boarding a shuttle bus and heading over to Lake Nona to take a tour and a ride on an autonomous vehicle installation hosted by Beep. Clayton Tino is the CTO of Beep. So if you're interested in riding in a robot car, stay right after the session and we'll jump on a bus. It's all included. Okay, so my name is Eddie Fidler. I'm a transport analyst here at ARC, and the subject of this morning is the future of mobility. But first, a little bit of housekeeping. So we do ask that you please silence your phones during the session. But afterwards, if you could leave us feedback via the ARC Forum app, that would be great. So today's session is 90 minutes. I'll be giving a very quick introduction. Then we have 4 speakers presenting, and we'll end with a panel discussion and audience Q&A. All right, so what are some of the issues in transport today? Well, we've pretty much all been here, right? Stuck in traffic as far as the eye can see. Everyone's car is emitting. It's air pollution, it's noise, it's heat, road rage. People are cutting each other off. It's a waste of your time, resources, stress, right? And this could be here in Orlando, Miami, California, Shanghai. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we're seeing this all over the world in urban areas. But for the sake of today, we're just going to focus on the US. So there are 275 million private cars in the US for only 250 million adults. These cars tend to sit parked over 92% of the time. We travel about 3 trillion miles on our roads in private cars. Around 40,000 people die on the roads every year, both in the car and pedestrians. Around 50,000 people die from air pollution solely from tailpipes. That's cardiovascular issues, stroke, respiratory issues, right? Our cities are pretty much built for cars, with vast fortunes in real estate tied up in roads and street parking and parking lots. The transport sector is the largest emitter of CO2 in the US. It's ahead of power gen. And like I said, we spend vast amounts of time in congestion, huge opportunity cost, stress and health. And because traffic congestion scales non-linearly with population growth, and our populations are growing in cities very rapidly, it's an unsustainable combination. So essentially, these issues are driven by 3 main factors: that we have distracted, error-prone human drivers, so that's all of us, taking their private cars for almost every trip, and all of it's powered by fossil fuels. So what is the mobility transition? So it's the idea of moving away from the paradigm of taking your private vehicle for basically every trip to concepts of maybe consuming mobility, kind of like you'd consume your data plan on your cell phone. So mobility on demand or as a service, and micromobility. So the thought is, instead of taking my private vehicle across town and then parking it, insuring it, dealing with parking tickets, maybe I would take a Lyft pool or use a bike share to get to the train, or decide to walk, realize I don't want to walk anymore, pull out my phone, find an e-scooter. Right? It's less of a commitment and more of a service, more of a consumption model. And in parallel to that, we're seeing models evolve around car subscription. Volvo's doing it, BMW is doing it. So you pay a flat fee for a month, and you don't worry about insurance and all of that. And once you're done with the car, you're done with the car. Now, a lot of these modes are combined with public transit, as I said. And so a lot of this is enabled by public infrastructure. So you need bike lanes that are actually safe for folks to use them. You need pickup or drop-off zones for your lifts to be able to pull over and not clog up traffic. Your public transit system has to work and share its data, right? The other pillar here was the human error. So the vast majority of road deaths in the US are just due to human error. They're pretty much avoidable. So autonomous vehicles replace the human driver completely. So obviously huge implications for safety, but they're also able to free up people's time and reduce labor costs for transport services as well. EVs have a huge role to play in reducing air pollution and noise pollution. They also save you a lot of money in operating costs and are great for your image and your public relations. So fleets are taking notice and they're taking action. UPS has recently ordered 10,000 delivery trucks for its fleet. IKEA has committed to fully electric home delivery by 2025. Cities are converting their bus fleets to electric. Entire cities in China have already done that. Some have tens of thousands of buses fully electric, full size. Lyft is incentivizing its drivers to go electric. And Amazon has actually just purchased 100,000 commercial delivery vans for its fleet. So this is a big deal, but we actually had a full session on EVs just on Wednesday, so we won't be focusing on this pillar too much today.